it's Lori Bradley, and I am here in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to show you some projects from my all-day Creative Escape Craft Retreat from Saturday. We made 6 projects, 6 make and take projects that were, we thought, some of our favorites in the times that we've been doing this, because the designer series paper and the punch outs from that paper speak for themselves. Like, it makes stamping, makes card making quick, and it makes it simple and fun. So I'm going to show you those in just a second. I'm going to show you 3, and then we're going to make 3. So we'll just make our usual 3 projects. The beauty of the Wildflower Celebrations birthday paper is that we used one color of ink. So if you had a pretty in pink ink pad, that would work. If you had a blueberry bushel ink pad, that would work. And that's the color that I chose. So I will be showing you that. I just wanted to ask, if you need a new catalog, if you don't have a demonstrator and you need a new annual catalog mailed to you, please comment on this video, and then I will send you a message and get your address. Or the easiest way, I will also post my email list so that you'll know when those catalogs are coming out and we can get one of those to you. So let's get going. We are going to make 2 cards and a gift bag, because birthdays, you know, you always need a gift bag. So let's make our cards. Here we go. All right. So let me show you the cards first. Make sure I've got. All right. So now we're good. Sorry, I'm gonna straighten up just a smidge. I'm gonna show you our cards. No, I'm not gonna show you the cards first. I'm gonna show you the designer series paper first. And this paper is so pretty, and it has multiple colors, and the best part is the shiny gold. So this is Pool Party and shiny gold. And then on the back side is a beautiful soft seafoam leaf pattern. And we actually used that pattern when we did celebration cards, and I used that on one of our celebration cards. And we have a pretty flower background, floral and leaves. Of that one. And then on the back is this adorable pink gingham, which you could use for birthdays, you could use for thinking of you. I think that's just super springy. I love it. And I'm always a sucker for the shiny side. If there is gold or silver on the paper, I should use that side. But this particular paper, that pink, just calls my name. All right, birthday cakes with the shiny pedestals. Very fun. And then a cute little pretty in pink and soft sea foam and old olive-ish sort of stripe color. And then another floral with gold leaves. Isn't that pretty? And these leaves match some of the punch outs, and I'm going to show you those in just a second also. And then the last full sheet of the paper is there's tags, cut apart tags that we can use. There's some squares, there's some panels. One of the panels I used on Saturday was one of these. We're actually going to use this one right in the middle today, so I'm going to show you the easiest way to cut that. All right, then let me show you really quick the cutouts. And I highly recommend, there's 2 sheets of them, and I highly recommend once you start punching them, once you get them out, then I highly recommend that you get a Ziploc bag or an envelope or some such thing and punch them all out, because you'll see that they start to fall out. They're perforated on the edges, and so I'm going to use this one for you today. So I'm going to pull that out. See how easy that is? This is going to make such a pretty card front. Okay, so just go ahead and punch those out and put them in a baggie or like I said, envelope, something to hold them, because when I try to put this back into my package, they're all wonky like that, and they don't stick, they don't slide in very easily. So just go ahead and put your, just put them into a baggie and save them all, okay? So I'm going to put those aside, and I'm going to hold on to, actually that's my first card. I'm going to show you the cards we're not going to make. This particular one This is the panel from the designer series paper. We used gold foil and the party dots and the gold mesh ribbon to jazz it up. And then, oh, that one doesn't have an inside. On this one we put in a sentiment on the inside. I just don't have that on this one. And then we had Make a Wish. The gold banner is a punch out. The cupcake is a punch out, and then these were cut from the designer series paper, and we stamped directly on the designer series paper. I need to scoot my thing back here. I think my camera's a little bit angled. There we go. See if that's better. Hey Pam. Well, I'm glad you found me. You'll recognize these cards. I'm going to show everybody else out there our cards that we made at our retreat. All right, I don't want to be. The ones for mailing will be shipped out in the next day or so, so I don't want anybody to be upset, but they'll at least get a little extra tutorial. All right, so this one is the tag from the designer series paper, and then the punched out birthday cake along with the gold ribbon with the pink gingham. It's so cute. All right, so let's do the cards that we're gonna do today. This one is a soft sea foam card base. And I just punched out this flower, the whole floral bundle, okay? It makes a beautiful card front, and we don't have to make it be a birthday. It could be any occasion. So for my white panel on the inside, I actually am gonna just leave it blank because I might need a birthday card. I might need it to be a sympathy card. I might need it to be a thank you card, and those flowers are good for any of those. I think we can use those for any of those occasions. So I'm going to fold my soft sea foam card base right in half. Set that aside. So since I'm not sure what occasion I'm going to use it, I have a white inside panel for my card. I'm going to set this aside, and I'm not going to stamp it today because like I said, I'm going to save that for whatever occasion. And I didn't want to bring in another stamp set to show you how versatile it is. But things like this, you could put any sentiment from any stamp set right on the inside. So let's something just fell on the floor, and I hope it's not something that I need right away for our video today. How's everybody doing with the time change? Is it killing you? I'm struggling a little in the morning, but once I get out of bed, I'm okay. All right, so that one I'm going to put right on a white panel, just a little bit bigger. I don't want it to be a huge border. I just want it to be a little bit of color separation so that the white makes it stand out a little bit. I'm out of adhesive here. Uh-oh. Good thing I've got two here. They're both going to act crazy. Oh my goodness. All right. So I'm going to put that panel onto the blue. So now the white kind of stands out just a little bit, gives it a little bit of a separation. And then that piece, I'm actually going to bump up on the front with dimensionals. Using the big ones, so it like the big dimensionals, the regular sized ones for big panels like this, so you don't have to watch me do it for hours. The mini ones take a little bit longer. Okay, so today, or this week, on this little ordering special, a lot of you like your own tutorials on how to make things. So this week's ordering special will be if you spend $50 in my online store, I will send you the tutorials for all 6 of my projects from my craft retreat on Saturday. So that's quite a special offering. So, all right, so we'll remember that. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and put our flowers onto our card front as well. You will not get the card bases and everything, but you'll get the directions on how to cut your own, okay? So I'm gonna put this right on the front. Again, I'm going to use dimensionals. This time I'm going to come in with my mini dimensionals, because I can put those in a little bit more places. See how simple this is? These punch sheets make amazing card fronts, and you don't have to stamp it. If you need a card in a hurry, you just pull one of those out. We could have easily used the balloon cutouts. That would have been fun, but I wanted to show you this one because it makes it such a versatile card. Okay. It is a beautiful day here in St. Louis. We are having some great weather, and then it's gonna be stormy by the weekend. Boring, blah, terrible. Okay, there's our flowers. Now let's decorate it just a little bit with our party dots. You could use whatever embellishments you like. The party dots are actually unavailable right now. They were so popular, they're on back order. I believe they will be back, it might be the first week of April. So keep that in mind. This one, I think I'm going to use the peach pie ones. I'm going to go ahead and put those on there. My other one has pink, so we can compare. There's two sizes, so let's do another small one over here. All right, isn't that pretty? It's just a simple floral card. You could add a ribbon on there if you want. We just liked that it was a simple, an easy card. All right, so less than 10 minutes. We've got card number 1. All right. Card number 2 is not a card. It is my project number 2, and it is a gift bag. So our gift bag comes in 2 sizes. There's a large and a small, and we're just going to decorate the front. And this is big enough for many things. Let me actually show you one of the small ones. We decorated one of those as well. Usually the after lunch pillow gift at our retreats is chocolate, lint truffles. And so this one we use the designer series paper, and the word enjoy is actually from the link together, but so you can see the sizes. This is the small gift bags, and this is the large one. So we're gonna make a large one today. So I have all my pieces cut except for that cupcake in the middle. So, and it's easiest to assemble these if you keep your bag flat. Okay, so I've cut, this piece is actually just a 1/4 sheet of cardstock. I cut it in half lengthwise and widthwise. And then I'm gonna put my designer series paper. You could do the cupcakes underneath. I just liked that stripe so that the cupcake on the front was actually the star of the show. And I cut that at a 4-inch panel, and I keep that in mind because I cut a 4-inch strip, and I'm going to show you a different card in just a minute with this cake side. Okay, so we can use both sides. So I'll show you that in just a second. So we're going to use both sides of this paper, and then I'm going to attach it to my bag. Right on the card front. It's not a card. I'm telling you the wrong thing. The bag. Okay, got that. Now I have an old olive piece, which is the color of our cupcake liner. So we pulled out the old olive, which coordinates with the greens. And then I'm going to put the old olive panel onto a gold 3.5-inch square. I'm getting everything set up, and then I'm going to show you the easiest way to cut that sheet of designer series paper that has all of the panels and the tags, so that you don't have to use your scissors. You can use your paper trimmer. I'm not going to attach this yet because I'm going to put the panel on the front, but let me show you this panel again, or this paper. So I can show you how to get our panel out, okay? Because this is the panel we want. The one, of course, right in the middle. Right in the middle. So we don't want to use our scissors. We don't want to have to cut that. So I'm going to put my paper into my trimmer, and I'm going to cut it right at the bottom of the tags. I don't need the tags right this minute, but I'm going to cut right in my cutter. I'm going to cut those off because we don't need those, but when I'm ready to use those, I can just take my paper trimmer, trim right up the middle, and then snip the edges so that the we have individual tags, and that's what I did for this one. Just cut the tag, used my trimmer, and then trimmed those edges. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. We don't need that piece, and that's the piece we're going for right there. So for this piece, I'm going to cut right up this line, and there's dividers between each of the pieces so you can easily see where to cut those. And line it up in the track of my scoring blade. Pam, I don't have my calendar right in front of me, but it would be the first Monday in April. The 31st of March is on a Monday, so whatever that next Monday is, maybe April 6th or 7th, I'm not sure. I don't like I said, I don't have my calendar right in front of me. I'll send out a notice. All right, so we used this panel right here on this birthday card. So literally, I just trimmed it there, and there's your card front. We just added the gold foil panel, and I think my thing is that my camera is angled. I am so sorry. So we just cut that off, but I'm not using this piece, so I'm going to set that aside, and I'm almost to my cupcake. I'm getting there. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to trim off this side as well. And the reason for that, so then you can easily trim those when you're ready for them. But I wanted to do that because I want to trim this side, because there's my cupcake. I'm going to trim that just like that. Again, put this aside, and you can easily cut those later when you're ready and you don't have a whole lot of small pieces. And here I am with my square. I'm gonna put it down here, maybe you can see it better. Just put that line right in the track. And then you have all of your extra pieces, and they are ready to go. Glue on the back of that. And once you have all those pieces cut out, I mean, you could certainly cut apart the whole sheet if you wanted to. I chose not to, but you could cut that apart and you could have those ready, and you could whip out a whole lot of cards in a really quick amount of time. Okay, there's our little panel. Let's put some dimensionals on each corner of that. I always find that I need a birthday card and I need it like right now, and then I don't do it and I get fussy, and so to avoid being fussy, I'm going to stockpile on these fairly soon. Okay, now let's add some party dots to this one. Let's go with pink this time since our flower is pink. And let's see, big and small. And there we go. We've got two cute little gift bags that will hold gift cards. We are, we have, you know, it could be a small gift, it could be jewelry, whatever, you know, your recipient has asked for that's a fairly small gift. Yes, I love this paper because it's so easy. You can just do it, and you don't have to think about what am I going to put on the front of my card. I've got this flower or this birthday cake that are perfect. So that's what I'm thinking. All right, so card number 3, and I have to admit, I believe it was a demonstrator named Dawn Bourget, I think, that I got this from. If it's not Dawn, I apologize to who I actually received it from. I will double check that, and if I'm wrong, I will post that in the comments. This one is a fun fold. It doesn't look like a fun fold. It just looks like a, you know, boring little card, right? No card is ever boring. But this is going to be an opener or a holder for our card. So I have my card base scored, and you can see that here. So there's this piece. Okay. So that's the front of the card. And then I've got a score line here, and you're wondering, well, what's that all about? Because that's the exact size of our card, okay? So I'm going to cut this. I'm going to show you how I cut this, and then maybe it'll make a little more sense. I need my base, or my designer series paper, to be, I lost my paper. I want to make sure I'm telling you all of my, I have a big event like that, I have all the directions written out so everybody can easily do those. But this was the remaining piece, the remaining part of the strip from when I made this panel. It's the back side of this panel. So I'm not wasting any paper, it's just a long strip. So I still have 4 inches, 8 inches of paper left. But this one I only need to be 3 3/4. Okay, so I need it to be 3 3/4, so I have to cut off 1/4 of an inch. Doesn't matter which side. So instead of wasting another panel, this is what I've got left. I'm not going to save that because that's really small. And then I need it to be 5 1/4 because that's going to be our card front. But then you're going to say, but Lori, this is not the right size. And I will say, you're right, it's not. So this is our card base. There's our front, and you can see that it goes off. We're going to cut 3/4 of an inch off of the right side, okay? And the reason we want it off the right side is because you're going to be able to see both of those sections, and we want our cakes to line up, okay? At some patterns it doesn't matter whether it goes off the left or the right, but for this one we wanted to cut 3/4 of an inch off of the right side. And I'm going to glue that piece on the flap, and you can see the score line, so so you know where this piece goes, and that's a score line at 1 inch, just so you know. And this fits perfectly there. I'm going to put it right there. Okay, this piece is for the front, so it's going to go right there. Make sure when you put that together that you've got it going the right direction and you've got your paper on the correct side of the cardstock. So we got that lined up. So now we have our cakes that are separate, but they're together. And then we have the opening on the inside. I'm not actually, I mean, we could stamp happy birthday. We're going to stamp on the front, so I'm just going to leave the inside blank because it's a small panel, just to give you enough room to really write whatever it is that you want to write for the birthday. Okay. It looks so fancy. It doesn't look fancy quite yet, but it will look so fancy when we're done. Okay, so now we have this. Now we got to make our fun fold. And so the score line here, we're going to make sure it folds backwards, not forwards, which seems a little counterintuitive, but we're going to make sure that it folds backwards like this. And the reason for that is when we place this piece on here, it's going to be attached only on this side. And so if it folds forward, that card will not open. But when it folds backwards, then that flap will open. Okay? So we'll just open like that. All right, now we're gonna do hooray for cake. And when I made my original sample, I'm pretty sure I did it all on one block. And I can't figure out, again, how to do that. So I still feel like my paper is not in the right spot. So I apologize. All right, so for cake, I'm gonna start with the for cake. I've got blueberry bushel ink, and I'm going to stamp that towards the bottom of my die cut. And if I do this properly, then I've measured correctly and I'll be just fine. Okay, and then hooray. I'm going to do hooray for cake. Put that right across, kind of diagonal above this. And it's photopolymer, so you can see. Ta-da! sticking to my blueberry bushel ink pad, so it's nice and dark. It'll fade, die down a little bit. All right, now I have a 3/4 inch of the Pool Party in gold because I've got a Pool Party card base, and I'm going to attach that right across there, and then I'm going to trim off that excess. So I'm going to put the adhesive on the panel so that I don't get it off the side and make a mess. One of the tips for the liquid glue is not to use very much. People have a love-hate relationship with it. They either love it or they hate it. And a lot of the people who hate it, it's because they use too much and it gets all over. So just a tiny amount. And if you feel like, ooh, this section's a little too much, spread it out and then you'll be all good. Okay, that should help with your mess. So yeah, I thought this was a fun fold too. I thought it's easy, but it looks so fancy. All right, so there is that, and then we're just going to take our paper snips and trim that side off. Okay. I'm not going to save that either. I'm sure there's probably a use for it, but today it's not going to happen. All right, now when we're going to put this on, we're going to put dimensionals only down, if I flip it this way, only down the right side. Okay, so just down the right side, and that's so that we attach it in the right spot and don't have any trouble. Goodness knows we don't want to glue our card together. Okay, and then you can put it however high you want, however low. Put it right there, make sure that I get that side attached, fold it back, open it up. Okay, so it goes like this, fold it. So that score line folds it the opposite way of what you think that the fold would go. Now, I just need a little bit of embellishment, and I have an open pack. Let me see if I have one in there that I can easily pull out. I just need a flower. We're going to use those little flowers. Let's see. Our birthday cakes have flowers. All right. How about that one? We have that one. Let's see what else I have left here. We made 2 samples for our event, and so some of my pieces are loose here, so I'm just going to use one of the loose ones. Wouldn't this have been a pretty card front? Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And that's the beauty, is that yours might look different than mine, or different than Pam's, or different than Sandy's, or different than Michelle's, or different than Sarah's, or whoever made the cards. All right, I'm going to use that piece because that's one that's already die cut. You could also do a cupcake if you want, but since we already did a cupcake, I'm going to do flowers. And I'm just going to glue it right up on that corner. Right there. And attach it that way. Again, I want it to be only on that piece, so that's why I'm putting that there. And then let's do some dots on this one. We've already used the peach pie and the pretty in pink. Let's go Pool Party. I'm gonna add some Pool Party dots. It'll show up a little nicer. I don't want to put it on the foldy side, just, I don't really know why, but. All right, so we have Hooray for Cake with a fun fold that opens like that. We have our cute little cupcake gift bag for any small gift that we might have. And then we have our floral punch out that is suitable for pretty much any occasion. Thinking of you, get well, sympathy, birthday, whatever you might want to make. Don't forget that the ordering special this week is the tutorials for all 6 of my projects from my Creative Escape Craft Retreat. If you are one of my customers who was there, then I will send you a tutorial a set of tutorials from a different class that you weren't attending. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next week. Next week I should be able to do 11:30. So I will see you next Wednesday, which is March 19th at 11:30 Central Time. Have a great rest of your day.